Thanks for joining in. Good morning to you. Season's greetings. And first of all, wish you a very, very happy new year. We just want to start by understanding. Thank you so much. We just want to start by understanding the nature of these orders. December 20, order received for suspension for a drug license in Telangana for 5 days. On December 22, there's a suspension in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra. Why so many drug suspension orders? And what's the impact that this is likely to have on the business?
Sure. So we have over 4,200 stores. And in all these stores, we have got pharmacists who are working day in and day out. There are times when, you could have a drug inspector walk in and maybe not have all the regulations or all the paperwork in order or something like that. And for that reason, you end up, sometimes getting a suspension for a few days. For us, it is not material. And that's the reason why we did not actually report it in the past. These things have been happening for a while. It is only now that the SEBI has actually said that irrespective of the materiality, you actually have to report all these things, and hence we're doing it. But for us, though, in a year, if we basically shut down maybe even 30, 40, or 50 shops for 4 or 5 days, that's less than one store shutting down out of the overall 4,200 stores. So not really material, I must say. Not that we are happy with the way it is. We're trying to improve it, and we're trying to make sure that we are in line with all the drug rules, but definitely not material.
No, exactly. I was just coming to that. I understand you're saying it's not material, but when you add up all the daily shutdowns, is it what? I'm guessing 1% of sales, maybe less. Can you give us the quantum? And also then there's a sentiment issue here. With the disclosures now coming in, investors will want to know why this is happening. And more importantly, how do you mitigate this? How do you ensure that whatever these disruptions are because of paperwork, as you said, how do you ensure it doesn't happen?
We are actually putting in better IT systems in order to take care of a lot of these things out there in the store. And I wouldn't say we have to live with some of these things, but this is the nature of the business. But better control, better IT systems. That's all there is to it. We are working on it. And as I said, even if you add up all the things, it doesn't even come to one store shut down for one full year. And that's out of 4,000 stores. So it is way less.
So while it's not unusual and it's happened in the past, has there been at least an uptick in the suspensions or no?
No. These things happen. No, I really will have to go and look at all the numbers to see if there's uptick, but happens from time to time between different states. I don't think there's a major uptick.
Okay. So how is business then on the diagnostic front? How many locations are you operational in right now? And do you have a target for 2024 by the end of next year?
Diagnostics, as I have mentioned in the past, is still in the pilot stage. We're there only in one city. It's a subscription model. The plan is to basically sell insurance-like subscriptions to the entire city, which means you need a network covering the city fully. And that's why, whatever money we invested it only in one city. So we'll probably continue to be that till we get really comfortable with the number of subscriptions and all, until we get comfortable about the overall acceptance of the plan itself. So for now, no immediate plans to move out of Hyderabad. Yeah, if that answers your question.
Okay, all right. Hi, sir. Good morning and good to see you. And, you had also entered that generics med segment. And out there, you were looking at gaining some market share, but there was some discounting as well. So give us a couple of aspects then. How is offtake and what is the current discounting trends out here?
Based on volume alone, the uptake has been fantastic. We started in Telangana nearly 4 or 5 months ago. We started end of June. And these numbers are out there in the public domain anyway. We were at around 2.42 crores per day in Telangana when we started it. By the end of September, we basically reached 2.83 crores. So massive uptick, I would say. We have products available for roughly around 55% of all the medicinal needs. So what that means is, exactly what that means actually. And we have seen an uptick of almost a third of that. So 18% of all medicines today sold in Telangana region or from the Medplus brand. Uptake is great. Now, as I said, it is volume growth. Obviously, if I am selling a drug which I would otherwise sell at, let's say, 100 rupee MRP drug, our usual discount was 17%. We'd have sold it at 83. Instead, today we're selling it at 40. Obviously, the top line is going to be slightly lower. The margins are not affected though. On the same 100 rupee MRP drug, we actually make slightly more than what we would make on the branded generic. But the volumes have gone up significantly.
Mr. Reddy, give us the store rollout plan as well, and also the geographical sort of focus that you'll have. I know that you've been opening beyond the southern states. There's a Medplus store near my house here in Mumbai now. What's the total store rollout plan for FY24, and also just a sense of how revenues might move, given what you described, given that there's the generics play coming in and a lot of this discounting, but you're saying that margins will be up. So what does that translate into revenue growth projections for this year, 24?
I think they're still going to be in line with what we had actually earlier said. I don't think there's going to be any major difference out there over last year. But what I would really like to focus on is this. While store growth is has always been there, will continue to grow out there. That's not what we are really looking at right now. Think of it this way. In India, 80% of everything we actually sell is all generics. These all have been off patent for several years now, some of them for decades. We didn't have a large enough store which had its own store brand to actually make it and sell it. So what we sell from Medplus is on par with any of the top guys out there. In a lot of cases, it could even be better, but it's definitely not inferior. We don't have any of the marketing costs and all, and hence we are able to give this massive discount. We're seeing a fantastic, uptake out here. We think now, for the first time, with the way the Prime Minister's Jan Aushadhi program is going, and the overall awareness being created around the generic products and all, and the fact that Medplus is now, now has the scale to actually buy and basically get the drugs made and sell them in our own stores, and thereby disintermediating some of the companies out there. I think the industry itself is going to change significantly. I think that's going to be the story this year. Whether we add, 500 stores or 1,000 stores, I don't think it's going to be so.
No, that's a very valid point, and we'll definitely keep an eye out on that. So, while we talk about that growing generic story with some of the government partnership programs, I just want to go back to the revenue picture. Of the first half of this year, you've done about 2,700 crores. How are you likely to close out the year?
It'll be slightly better. Second half will be slightly better. That's all I can tell you. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Even your margins have improved in the first half of the year to 6%. What's the outlook on margins?
Again, marginally better, I would say, mainly because a lot of our stuff is now private label. And so the margins are going to be slightly better. It is not as, the current set of private label which we have is obviously not as profitable because we're giving 40 to 60% discount out there on all these drugs. But overall, since these are actually displacing the branded generics on which we make far less, we would actually make slightly better margins as we go forward.
All right, Mr. Reddy, what about the big investor in there, Lavender Rose, which is Wabag, I think.
Yeah.
What is their plans with regard to their holding? Do you think in 2024, at some point of time, majority of this holding will be sold, or have they indicated they want to hold it for a longer term?
I see no reason to, really believe that they want to, at least my conversations with them have not led to any conclusion on that part. But as a private equity company, I mean, they will want to get out of the public market sooner or later. They also hold a significant chunk right now, along with Premji Invest. So between both, they hold roughly around 20%. So I see that they will take every opportunity to sell down a little bit. I don't think they're going to be selling down everything in one shot for sure. So maybe, yeah, in the course of the year, they could sell a little bit. Okay,
all right. And also, I think you're taking approval, right, to go ahead and raise some money. Could you tell us what is the plan out there? Will we hear about a fundraise in the coming quarter or so? If yes, what could the quantum be?
See, it's an enabling resolution. We wanted to basically put it in place to take advantage of the market and all. But the company itself, I'm not really sure if you really need the money right now. Till I decide to really expand on the diagnostic side, we are, funded by internal accruals. We don't have any debt. So any growth plan which we have can easily be funded. I don't think we'll, so till that happens, we're not really going to.
So as of now, it's just an enabling resolution. You're not expecting to go ahead and raise these funds, right?
Okay.
Okay, and that includes the expansion on private labels, on the generics, the big plans that you spoke of. You said that will be the story of 2024-25. So all of that funding will be internal accruals. Is that right?
We have no debt at all today. So if you really want to get some, working capital loan, we can go and pick it up easily. I don't think that's really going to come in the way.
Okay. All right, Mr. Reddy, we will leave it on that note. Thank you very much for joining in, and good luck to you for the new year that is upon us now.